Hello, good morning. I am Bea Cupin. It's a fairly dreary and very rainy Independence Day, but hopefully today's Rappler Talk discussion will rouse you out of your bedweather mood because it's a very interesting topic. We'll be talking about history and the big screen. Our guests, of course, know a lot about this topic. We have Director Gerald Tarog, the man behind the now iconic and viral General Luna, and its follow-up Goyo, two movies that discuss real-life Filipinos in history. We're also joined by Art Acuni and Ronnie Lazaro, who portray Manuel Bernal and Lieutenant
Garcia.
Garcia. You have to say it like that. Okay, respectively. So good morning, gentlemen. Thanks for joining us, even if it's a holiday, even if it's so rainy today. So Goyo is coming out in September, right?
September 5.
September 5. It's your second movie about a historical character. So, what triggered you to start the trilogy? It's a trilogy, right?
Well, in the first place, sobrang interesting na characters sina Antonio Luna. Well, the trilogy is Antonio Luna, Gregorio del Pilar, and Manuel Quezon. And they're all very interesting characters who are very filmable. Meaning, merong magagandang qualities sa kanila pero meron ding mga controversial na qualities na pwedeng paglaruan.
They're not perfect.
Yes, sa pelikula. So, yun yung buong idea ng trilogy, to show your heroes as people.
Yeah.
Also. But it's not also, hindi lang siya simpleng historical na pelikula. It's also, parang yung mga pelikula na yan, yung tatlo, they kind of give you some space to reflect also about yourselves. So the films are as much about the protagonists as also yung sa audience na nanonood.
The Filipino condition? Is that fair to say it?
And it's also about the audience mismo, yung mga nanonood. Parang pag nanood sila nung halimbawa, General Luna, hindi lang siya parang hero worship. Parang iniisip mo rin kung paano siya nakaka-relate sa'yo.
Right.
As a citizen.
Right. They're technically just only people, right? But, I mean, through the years, through the decades, the century, parang mythological na halos yung the people who you portray. How was it? Like, whoever wants to.
Like you said, no, we make them like real people, not like but real people.
Right.
You know, not from the books, from your imaginations. So their emotions are real. So very effective to send messages to people, no? The character and the storytelling, of course.
Yeah, their actions and words become imprinted somehow and are remembered by the people who followed them. You know, then it's told as a tale to the younger generations and passed on and so forth. It's written down and it becomes an examination of the past, which is, I think, a very instinctive thing to do. It's just like if you're a person, you're going to think about, you know, what did I do last week that might inform on me this week and the week coming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the importance of historical films. It's that it facilitates learning, and learning is that instinct of examining the before
To understand.
in relation to the now and how it can affect tomorrow.
Right. So you're without scaring you, but that's a tall order, right? To trigger reflection among the audience, and it doesn't come without controversy. And I have to ask this. Notably, historian Laloy Claudio, who happens to be a Rappler contributor, criticized. Let me quote his. He said you were flirting with authoritarianism. Of course, you already rebutted that. But could you just talk about like yung criticism na gano'n, na parang why are you, maybe some people will say that you're glorifying them or you're precisely what you don't intend to do, putting them on a pedestal, turning them into these heroes who are infallible, parang gano'n.
In the first place, it's part of the job na yung ganong klaseng criticism, lalo na pag yung mga stories na medyo they tackle history and politics. So, talagang darating yung criticism. Pero, it's very easy to mistake the audience response with the actual film itself. So, parang, I think ganun medyo yung nangyari with Mr. Claudio, na yung actual response ng isang grupo ng audience who saw it as praising authoritarianism, parang yun yung naging interpretation niya ng buong pelikula mismo. Which is, it's a valid interpretation, pero hindi siya yung actual na message ng pelikula. And thankfully, mas maraming mga tao na nakakuha ng actual message ng pelikula, judging from a lot of articles written online. So, okay na ako dun. Parang my work here is done kung naintindihan na ng karamihan. So, kasama naman talaga yun sa trabaho. So, I welcome that kind of discourse.
Yeah. I just want to go back to the piece that you wrote for Esquire, the one rebutting basically what Laloy was saying. Parang, I liked how you ended it because it was both, I mentioned this earlier, it was both bleak and hopeful. Na parang, you hope that the smarter ones or maybe those who understand the message of the movie, is that right, would help the others who don't catch up.
Yeah.
But like, isn't that, I don't know, like, paano kung hindi nila magets or...
Well, yun yung isa sa risk ng making art that's kind of... Well, lahat naman ng art maraming interpretation na pwede. Pero that's why it's important. Kasi ito, I keep encountering people online who tell me that the author is dead. Which is a kind of outdated na parang postmodern thing na hindi na siya nagwo-work ngayon kasi it goes against everything we know about how people think, which is importante yung author ng message, importante yung message, and importante din yung interpretation mo. Now, if you say the author is dead, parang nawawala yung responsibility ng audience to think in terms of context, subtext, intertextual analysis, lahat yun. So, nawawala yung responsibility na yun. And you're just saying na kung ano yung interpretation ko, yun yung tama.
Right.
Diba?
Because when I watched Helena Luna, oh my God, it was 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
It feels like yesterday lang. But like, it feels like you jump into a history book. And it's interesting considering because like Luna isn't really a star in Philippine history, like in the lessons that they teach you in school, right? So, how different is the process when you do like a movie, not just as a director, but like as an actor also? When you do a movie that's based on history, how different is the preparation, or is it the same compared to like if you're portraying a fictional character?
In my case, it's always the same. But if I'm playing a particular real personality like Don Garcia, I pray for him. I ask for his guidance. Because I hope to do justice. I hope to do justice to his life. Just to be,
Because it's an actual legacy that
you're. Of course, yeah. I mean, he's a real person. You don't know if relatives are there watching.
Exactly. I was gonna say that.
Yeah. So.
Ancestors.
Lalo na dito.
How do you prepare?
I think my preparation is always similar, but in case of this film, Luna and Goyo coming up, and Angelito also, there's more documentation that you can explore.
Because there's a paper.
But that's subject also to my personal interpretation. How I get it.
Of course.
Because I think that's what education is supposed to do for you. It's not for you to amass facts and stuff like that. No, it's about getting that in your head and then using your own mind to decipher something and come to your own conclusions.
Right.
But always leave yourself open. I mean, I've been acting for a long time. Until this day, I can't tell you I know how to act. I'm not sure. It's always evolving.
Exactly.
That the education doesn't stop.
Yeah.
And I think it's true of these films that Direct Gerald is putting out right now. You know how good this is for our country?
Yeah.
And Luna took a while to actually,
And it was a risk
to
at
pick
that
up.
time. Yeah, and it was a risk, obviously. Diba? Kasi you didn't know kung...
Exactly, because we all know what kind of movies make it here.
Exactly.
Right? And to put out a movie like that, I mean, good luck.
Parang ano nga siya, no?
And it caught up.
Yeah.
Which was the best thing about it. It was like, you know what? We're waking up people.
Right.
Sige, banat
Parang
pa.
may pakialam pala.
Post. Do something.
Yeah.
There's other movies. There's movies like this.
Yeah. Parang weird nga siya in a way because it's not so much escapism as it actually like you're pulled into the reality of then and parang ganun. Does it surprise you that it took off so well? Well, it took some time. It was a slow burn, but
yes. I've gone on record several times already na parang pinakawalan ko na siya yung Luna. Lalo na nung first week nung pinalabas siya. So, parang hindi ko na iniisip na parang tanggap ko na posible siyang mag-flop. But at least we did our best with the movie. And then bigla siyang sumabog. So parang, wow, okay. So it's the same with Goyo na this time it's even a bigger risk. Especially sa budget. So, masaya lang ako na we all did our best
Yeah.
with the movie. And
Yeah.
hopefully, mas malaki yung support this time.
Yeah. Siguro for the history and film geeks out there, you were talking off air earlier about how difficult it is to shoot period film in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Why is that again?
Una, yung yung details mostly. So, kailangan mas malakas yung attention with props, costumes, and yung setting. And then, lalo na dito sa Pilipinas, mahirap mag-shoot ng exteriors, mga eksena. So, madami kang makikita mga modern structures, mga wires, etc. na kailangan burahin. But for Goyo, kasama na yon yung mga madaming buburahin. Pero for Goyo, we had the luxury of creating an actual town square. So, gumawa kami ng simbahan, ng alcalde's house, etc. So, nakapaligid yan din sa buong, sa Tarlac, doon namin ginawa. So, it's kind of overwhelming in a way. Kasi every day na dumarating kami sa set, nakikita namin kung gaano kalaki yung pelikula. Parang, totoo ba ito? Ginagawa ba natin?
Parang naging larger than life yung dating din, the actual shoot. Kasi obviously, since General Luna proved na the audience wants something like this, right? But still, I think there's still a little risk involved or not?
Malaking risk, hindi siya little. Malaki yung risk every time. So, grateful lang ako na merong mga producers na kasing baliw namin sa paggawa ng pelikula.
Who are not afraid to risk these things. Siguro yun nga, it's Independence Day, you know, everyone's all reflecting about our freedom, what we had to go through to get here. You tend to choose characters who might not be as prominent in the sense na hindi sila ganun kakilala, siguro through education or whatever. Why do you think we need to know these potentially problematic, as you've pointed out, I think in the past, characters? So why do we need to get to know them and the people around them, right?
Well, there's always something to learn about these kinds of people. Merong article online na sinulat tungkol sa General Luna na you can learn from Antonio Luna but you shouldn't emulate him. So may mga ganun bagay na I agree. So when you put out a character na medyo controversial, magandang aralin yung mga tamang ginawa niya saka yung mga maling ginawa niya. Importante yun. So yung mga historical characters natin, they're usually confined to Jose Rizal, Bonifacio, etc.
Yeah.
So parang magandang maglagay ng mga taong hindi naman, panahon naman nila ngayon, yung mga ibang characters na hindi usually bida sa pelikula.
And in September, we're introducing Del Pilar.
Gregorio Del Pilar.
Better, I guess, to the Filipino audience. So why do you think this movie is something,
Ako, it's not to, but kinulang Pinoy sa education. You know, and when Gerald Tarog directs, he goes through, dives into research, finding out, and so I think we deserve to learn and see and hear the truth regarding our heroes. You know, or are they our heroes?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, I mean, who decides on that one?
Is it right to venerate them? I
Yeah,
guess,
who
as a
decides
hero?
on that one? I mean, they say, what? I mean, you know, ang Pinoy kasi gullible din tayo eh.
Sobrang prone to hero worship.
Oo, madali tayo.
We are in the past and in the present.
You know, of course, it's us who will decide. So we will, I think what we're doing here, is just telling a story.
Yeah.
Truthful.
Yeah.
Truthful.
Truthful.
Is that a lot of pressure on your part? That I don't know. It's just it feels so like historical in itself. You know.
Well, yes. May pressure, palagi naman may pressure every time.
Pag wala, hindi ka...
May dagdag lang na pressure this time kasi mga historians also parang kailangan nilang...
But you consult with historians, obviously,
Yes.
right? For the movies.
Pero the thing with historians is palagi may kanya-kanyang kampo
there
yan
are camps, yes. People might not know that.
May kanya-kanyang kampo yan. So pag kinuha mo yung isang historian, may isa na, hindi, ganito yan.
Mali yan,
Okay, so,
he's not a hero.
okay, whatever. So, we just focus on telling a good story.
Yeah.
I'm sure the apostles had arguments between them.
Ayun.
So, Goyo, showing on
September 5.
September 5. That's how many months from now?
Tatlo.
4? 3? 3 to 4
Roughly.
months from now. So that's it. Do you want anything? You want to tell anyone anything else now that it's Independence Day? People are actually thinking about our history more than usual today.
Sure. Continue to wake up, and this is one of the ways wherein you can wake up. Watch significant historical movies about not just celebrity historical characters. The non-celebrity historical characters have a lot to say. There's a lot to mine from their experience. I mean, I can relate to them more than I can relate to Jose Rizal, actually.
Yeah.
So these are people we should know about.
Yeah.
Again, I guess it's for our future generation. This is ahead. We are telling this is the real stuff.
And then it's up to the audience
Yeah,
to
it's still the audience. And you
figure
can pass
out
them on.
what should be emulated and what should be prevented from happening
Exactly.
again. And with that note, thank you for joining us. I am Bea Cupin. That was Rappler Talk. So on Independence Day, think about our history. Don't just, get a character and idolize that person. Think about who he or she was in the Philippine context. Again, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.